Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Vibes Tour VT. Today I'm going to explore Qutub Minar complex. Qutub Minar is an UNESCO World Heritage Site located in Mehroli area of New Delhi. If you are coming by metro, then nearby metro station is Qutub Minar metro station in the yellow line. From there, take a sharing auto rickshaw to Qutub Minar complex, which will cost 20 rupees per person. Then there is a ticket counter in outside of Qutub Minar complex. Take a ticket. Entry ticket price is 40 rupees for Indian visitors and for foreigners it costs 600. Child up to 15 years are free. The distance of Qutub Minar from New Delhi railway station is 15 km and the nearest airport is Indira Gandhi International Airport, which is 13 km away. The gate of the Qutub Minar is permanently closed for tourists after an unfortunate tragedy which took 45 lives on 4th December 1981. 45 people were killed in this stampede. That's why this gate has been closed since 1981. Qutub Minar was built by Qutbuddin Aibak Iltutmish Firoz Shah Tughlaq. The Quranic verses are written there in the form of calligraphy on the Qutub Minar. The construction of Qutub Minar was started in 1199 AD by Qutbuddin Aibak. The height of the Qutub Minar is 72.5 meters and it is the world's highest brick minaret. Minar has 5 stories with a balcony on each floor and diameter at the base of a tower is 15 meters and diameter at top is 2.5 meters. Minar has 379 steps to reach at the top. However, the entry within the Minar is closed. Qutub Minar is also known as Victory Tower. The foundation of Qutub Minar was laid in 1199 by Qutbuddin Aibak after the victory on Delhi's last Hindu empire. It was built to show Muslim dominance in Delhi. 27 Jain and Hindu temples were demolished to obtain the material to build the Minar. Qutbuddin Aibak managed to build only the foundation of the tower. Later, 3 stories of Qutub Minar was built by his successor, Iltutmish. Firoz Shah Tughlaq constructed the 5th and last stories in 1368. The last floor was built with white marbles and can be distinguished easily. Qutub Minar architecture is based on the Indo-Islamic architecture and it is a good example of Mughal architecture. Many other historical monuments are located in the complex along with Qutub Minar. Alai Darwaza, Quwwatul Islam Mosque, Iron Pillar, Tomb of Iltutmish, Alauddin Khilji's tomb, Madarsa, Alai Minar, Tomb of Imam Zamin, Tomb of Alauddin Khilji, etc. are present in the complex. The Qutub Minar is trying to tell us so many things through the Arabic and Nagori writings. The inscriptions tells us of Qutbuddin Aibak destroying some pavilions that had existed on the site before the Minar. From these writings, we know that here definitely were Hindu temples that were reshaped, remodeled in some way. And it is said to be the idea is that this Minar was supposed to be used by the Muezzin for the Azan call. Except that the Qutub Minar is 5 stories tall, it has 379 steps, which is a nightmare prospect for an old muezzin to climb 5 stories every day for 5 times and scream out an azan, which no one on the ground would be able to hear. Qutub does not come either from the Qutbuddin Aibak's name or the saint's name, but in Arabic it actually astronomy. This leads us to the fact that Mehroli comes from the Sanskrit word Mihir Avli, coming from the time when Varaha Mihira, the astronomer under the king Vikramaditya, lived in this region around the 4th century BC and had a tall tower for astronomical studies surrounded by 27 pavilions for the 27 constellations of the Hindu zodiac. The tomb of Iltutmish was built in 1235 AD. It is situated just outside the northwest corner of the Quwwatul Islam near the Qutub Minar. This tomb is quite simple, but its entrance is intricately carved with geometrical patterns, make it a beautiful example of India's heritage to the world. Aibak and Iltutmish both had started out in the same way. They were both slaves who ultimately became kings. As young boys, they were sold and resold from one masters to another in the market of Persia, which is also why their dynasty, the first ever Muslim dynasty in India, is called the Mamluk dynasty. Mamluk in Arabic means property and slaves were a property. In Tariq-e-Alai, the records of Alauddin Khilji's work left by his contemporary Amir Khusro tells us of Khilji erecting this Alai Darwaza here and also having ambitions to raise a rival minaret taller than the Qutub Minar itself. Of course, that never happened because Khilji commissioned the work in 1311 and died in 1316. When the work stopped, so now you just find the first story sitting there awkwardly. Both Iltutmish and Aibak spent their childhood slaves years around the city of Jam in Afghanistan, which has similar minaret as the Qutub Minar. So it's quite probable that it shaped their idea of power and rule in their minds. and which is why they tried to make one when they became rulers. The Ghurids had defeated the Rajputs and established the first ever Muslim rule in Delhi. On the contrary, we find more references to this minar being a dedication by Iltutmish Qutbuddin Aibak's successor to the Muslim saint Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki. So this monument might just have been for him. Which makes sense because right along with the Qutub Minar was commissioned a mosque which became the first ever mosque in northern India, the Quwwatul Islam Mosque. I guess we will never properly know the history of Qutub Minar, and that's because records are lost. History does not happen in a clear and linear pattern. So it is now up to the monument itself to tell us its story through its walls, gateways, and its stones. The Iron Pillar of Delhi is a structure 7.21 meter high with a 41 centimeter diameter that was constructed by Chandragupta II. It is famous for the rust-resistant composition of the metals used in its constructions. The pillar weighs more than 6 tons and the pillar carries a number of inscriptions of different dates.